Hi everyone, I'm Puffy, and today's video is all about Undertale. And this video was extremely inspired by Choco Pink's Redesigning the Flowey video, which you should really check out. But I thought it'd be fun to take the idea and do it with Undertale characters, and since it's Undertale's 10th anniversary, I figured why not celebrate in style? So let's jump in. Okay, first up we have Frisk. They're the main protagonist and the player you control. After falling into the underground, Frisk goes on a big journey to try to return to the surface, while meeting tons of interesting monsters along the way. For my redesign, I stayed pretty true to the original look. Their signature pink and blue sweater, some dark blue shorts, and little brown shoe boot thingies. I added a band-aid like the one they have at the start of the game, but I decorated it with rainbows and stars because, hey, they're a kid, it fits. Their skin tone is still darker with that yellow undertone, and their hair is fluffy brown and curly with a little heart-shaped calyx sticking up. And that's Frisk. Next is Flowey. He's actually the first major character you meet, and he's also the main antagonist in both the neutral and pacifist run. Cute, but not so cute once you realize his true nature. He also pops around through the underground following you. That's not weird. Anyways, I didn't change Flowey too much. He's still a golden flower with 6 petals and 2 leaves. I gave him little freckled things to represent seeds, because he's supposed to be a buttercup, I think. Anyways, I made him wink since in the game he tries to act friendly while actually sending out his friendliness pellets. Well, anyways, that's Flowey. Now we have Toriel. She's the second big character you meet. Toriel rescues the protagonist from Flowey and teaches them how to survive in the underground. She's kind, motherly, and definitely one of the most beloved characters in the game. For my design, I wanted to keep her soft and approachable. I gave her little droopy eyes with goat pupils, rosy cheeks, and fluffy floppy ears. She still has her small horns and tufts of hair, plus her long sleeve purple dress with a white collar. The chest design is based on a cosplay I saw. Can't promise it's exact, but I thought it looked cool. I also made her a little chubbier and gave her one of her children's heart lockets, because I feel like she'd keep it out of sentimentality. Finally, I gave her big paw-like hands and feet to add to that cozy motherly vibe. You know, those bigger moms that are like, aww. That's Toriel. Up next is everybody's favorite skeleton, Sans. He's Papyrus' older brother and one of the most iconic characters in Undertale. Sans first appears in Snowden Forest, watching you from afar after you leave the ruins. And from then on, he keeps popping up through your journey. He's lazy, pun-loving, and also way more powerful and mysterious than he lets on. For my redesign, I kept Sans short and wide, with his signature skeleton smile and sleepy eyes. He's rocking his blue jacket, but I added little bone charms to the hoodie string things, and some ketchup stains because, come on, it's Sans. He's got his black shorts, pink slippers, and like in a lot of Timmy's art, I left him without his shirt underneath. I don't know why. But anyways, to finish it off, I drew him holding a water sausage because, you know, at one point he puts one of those in your inventory. Now let's talk about Papyrus. He's Sans' younger brother, and unlike Sans, Papyrus is ambitious, energetic, and dreams of becoming a member of the Royal Guard. For my version, I made him super tall and lanky, dressed in his homemade battle body armor, over a black bodysuit. I added some little stitches on the side to show that his armor was put together for a costume party, like in the game's lore. Of course he has his bright red boots, gloves, and scarf, but I also added some gold accents to make them pop. Finally, I gave his eyes a tiny blue glow just for a little extra flair. And that's Sans and Papyrus. Now on to Undyne. She's the fierce head of the Royal Guard and a total warrior. For my redesign, I gave her a super strong build and made her skin a more greenish blue with reddish pink accents instead of just the basic light blue. I gave her sharp teeth and an eye patch and extra hair since her dating sprite shows more than her battle sprite. But anyways, her hair is a fierce ginger orange with blue highlights and undertones. She's wearing her casual outfit with chunky boots, and of course she's gotta hold her glowing spear. Anyway, that's Undyne. Next is Alphys, the royal scientist. She's super smart, but also awkward, shy, and absolutely obsessed with anime, especially Mew Mew Kissy Cutie. You know, since she talks about that throughout your whole trip throughout Hotland. Anyway, for my design, I made her a short, chubby little lizard with freckles and buck teeth, and ear holes, since, you know, most reptiles have those. She's got her glasses, lab coat, but underneath that, she's wearing a Mew Mew Kissy Cutie shirt. On her coat pocket, I added 2 pins, one Sailor Moon, and one Hidden Leaf Village from Naruto, because that just feels like that's so her. On her feet, she's got some simple wedge black shoes. Anyways, that's Alphys. Then we have Mettaton. He's the Underground's fabulous celebrity and TV star. I kept his design close to the original, but added a few fun details. His hair is a medium length with a swoopy fringe. And I gave him a tiny tooth gap because I thought it was just looked perfect. His eye has a screen-like texture of some eyeshadow for flair. His body has the iconic shoulder pads and little heart thing in a little glass container because, you know. He also has his speaker panel. And of course, I had to give him those long, iconic legs with his high heels. Underneath Redesigning EX, I also included his little box form for accuracy. For the background, I put him on his little battle platform with a viewer scoreboard to really sell the vibe. That's Mettaton. Now it's time for the king himself, Asgore. He's the ruler of the Underground, and though he's supposed to be fearsome, he's actually gentle and kind at heart. For my redesign, I gave him round, chubby cheeks and a warm smile to highlight that soft side of him. He's got his full golden hair and a crown and fluffy ears, which are really different from Toriel's, along with big horns. He's also got his shiny gold armor with shoulder guards, and the Deltarune symbol proudly on his chest, paired with his royal purple robe. And because he's a tea lover, I had to draw him holding a cup of tea, and this cup's decorated with the Deltarune. That's Asgore. Next is Asriel Dreamer, a child of Toriel and Asgore. I made Asriel extra fluffy with tufts of fur all over, big ears, and a slightly nervous smile. Instead of his striped sweater, I gave him a sweater vest over a brown dress shirt. Something I think Toriel would dress him in to make him look nice. He's also wearing jeans, and around his neck is a golden heart locket. That's Asriel. Now for Chara. They're the first fallen human and are closely tied to Asriel's story. I made Chara a little taller than Asriel with their signature rosy cheeks and smile. Their eyes are reddish-brown with small bottom lashes, and their hair is medium brown with bangs and red peekaboo highlights. They've got a little heart-shaped calic too. Their sweater design is like Asriel's, but with a darker green base and a single stripe that matches their skin tone. Just like in the games. For bottoms, they're wearing brown shorts and ankle-high boots. That's Chara. For fun, I also added Toby, the creator of Undertale, and Temmie, who's another developer and artist for the Temmie character. Toby's his usual self-insert, you know, the little white dog. But I made sure he was holding a legendary artifact. Temmie's drawn with her classic silly face, floppy ears, and her little Temmie hat. Plus a plain gray-blue shirt. Anyways, that's Toby and Timmy. And finally, Omega Flowey. This was a last-minute addition, but such a fun one. They gave him his creepy TV head with a distorted face, surrounded by fleshy parts, wired eyeballs, and thorny vines. His arms are big bush-like claws, and on each side there are little TV showing the human souls. Finally, I added the red soul below Flowey, and the glitch effect to bring it all together. That's the Mega Flowey. Thanks so much for watching and sticking to the end. If you enjoyed this video and don't mind, leave a like and subscribe. And let me know in the comments which redesign is your favorite. Until next time, bye!